Hi Logic Language Learners, this is a video that was requested by Stuart in New York. So he wants a video all about different ways of using the word care. Now this is quite an interesting situation because a lot of the time in English you will have words which for us are just the same word repeatedly, and every single time in French that will be a different word for every situation. And likewise there are situations in French where there is the same word used repeatedly again and again and again in different situations, and every single blooming one of them has got a different word in English. So bear with me. Right, so but all of it's very useful, all of it's very important for everyday speech, so let's get cracking. So which order shall I go with? Before I begin, I'm going to write the examples, type the examples underneath in the description box, so click on the down arrow. Also, as I promised now, every time I touch on anything a little bit grammar, I'm going to do a grammar file that will be added to the podcast series. So the podcast series is 4 minutes explanation of the same topic, 4 minutes of examples. So like a rapid version, quick upload, from beginning to end of French, and I will pop a link to that underneath. Good, so the first thing, what list did I bring up? So the first thing I want to talk about, let's say, is when you're talking about care, is when you say, I don't care. I don't care, okay? So, no, let's go with something nice first. Let's say when you care. So, if you said, I care about a topic, so I really care about the environment, I really care about your learning French, then there's not a verb to care as such. You are going to use a couple of things. The first thing you are going to do is say that you feel concerned. Now that doesn't just mean concerned as in, I'm a little bit worried, Luke is clearly crazy. Concerned in French can also be implicated, involved, okay? So, as in that concerns me, as in that touches me, rather than just that worries me. So the verb to feel when followed by an adjective, and this will be in another video I will pop underneath that I recently did, which is all the different ways of using the verb feel. So se sentir, sentir and ressentir. So I feel concerned would be je me sens concerné. Yeah, je me sens concerné. Okay. So if you wanted to say, where's my little list? Yeah, so I feel concerned about, je me sens concerné par, by, We've also got the verb importer. Now, this comes from importance. Yep, now, the verb importer is, we don't really use to import as a verb in English other than to bring something into a country. So that has an importance for me, that is important to me, ça m'importe. Yeah, or, quelque chose qui m'importe, okay? So if that bothers you, I don't mean bother as in annoy, I mean bother as in it's something that you care about. Si ça vous importe. Yeah, okay? So we've got se sentir concerné, importé. If you obviously say I don't care, if you mean it in it, I'm not bothered about, I'm not, it's not a topic which concerns me, you can obviously make those negatives. So, je me sens pas concerné, ça ne me concerne pas, ça ne m'importe pas. So obviously be careful which care you're using in the affirmative or the negative. Next up, if you say I don't care, meaning I don't mind, you are going to use the verb gêner, ça ne me gêne pas. Now I always remember this verb to teach because there's a friend of mine who always really annoys me called Jen, who I love but I actually don't like. And she's so annoying. And yeah, so do you mind if I smoke? Do you care if I smoke? Ça vous gêne si je fume? Okay, so that is a really important verb. Do not forget that gêner has an accent on top of the E. Okay? So, next up. So, ça vous gêne? Do you mind? Do you care if I smoke? Okay. Next up. I care as in I don't care. Hey, Luke, we're going to the shop, the store. Do you want something to drink? What do you want? Red, white wine, red wine, white wine? I don't care. This is not factually true. I prefer red wine. So you're either going to say ça m'est égal. That to me is equal. Read down in the description, ça m'est égal. You've got the M to me, apostrophe est, égal, equal. Now we know the word égal because if you know anything about French culture, you will have come across, you know, fraternité, liberté, égalité, these kinds of qualities that are allegedly, you know, the base of the French Republic, République Française. So, égal. Yeah, and also in maths, you know, égal is equals. So with sums. So that to me is equal, ça m'est égal. Now, what do I always tell you to do when you have a new expression? Make sure you learn it not just with the me and the you, because anybody can do me, te, nous and vous in a pronoun. Check whether it is going to be le or la or lui, or with the plural, les versus leur. So any expression you come across, when you have a me, te, nous or vous, check you can do the third person. So in other words, I don't mind, that to me is equal, ça m'est égal. That to you is equal, ça t'est égal. That to you is equal. The is still going to be the same word. It's the ça that's doing the is. That to him is equal, ça lui est égal. Yes, so it's one of those that's going to go to a lui. Okay? Going up a step, slightly more indifferent and a little bit less socially correct, is je m'en fiche. I myself of it do. And do in French, so without being rude, we have curse words, swear words that we insert into English. So for example, what are you doing? To make it stronger, what are you bloody doing? What are you fricking doing? What are you king doing? So French is different. We can add the like an equivalent of the F word before a noun, so putain de whatever. But if you want to make a verb stronger, you will often change the verb to foutre. At the top, soft hard verb, fou, fouton, foutez, fout, or ficher. Now, ficher and foutre works reasonably regularly. Fou, fouton, foutez, fout. The past is foutu. The past of ficher is fichu, which is odd. I don't care, je m'en fiche. I really don't give a fuck. Je m'en fous. I don't care, je m'en fous. Now, if my 8-year-old nephew said to me, I don't give a fuck, Uncle Luke, I would not be best impressed. And that is coming from me, who, as you know, isn't against the odd swear word. If my 8-year-old nephew said in French, je m'en fous, I wouldn't admire the attitude, because it's a bit, well, you know, don't care less. But it's not as offensive. So can we just make absolutely clear, when many of you first come across the verb foutre, it is in the expression va te faire foutre, you know, fuck off, go and fuck yourself, go and get yourself fucked, literally. It's a lovely example of the passive, but it's not as strong, yeah? I guess like an Irish feck or something like that, it's just not quite as strong, all right? So I don't mind, ça m'est égal, a little bit higher up, je m'en fiche, or a couple of extra stars, je m'en fous, I don't care, okay? There's even a concept in French called le je m'en foutisme, the I don't give a fuckism, for like indifference and social apathy, okay? Which I quite like. The fact there's a phrase, I don't like social apathy and ignorance and indifference. So the next ones that we can have are to take care of somebody, so the sort of carers of the world. So the basic word, the basic noun to care is, for care is soin. Okay, so if I slapped some moisturiser on this face, in French, creams are obviously les crèmes hydratantes, hydrating creams, but general toiletries, general cosmetics are called les produits de soin. Yeah, crème de soin, okay, because you're caring for your skin. So the verb that goes with soin, S-O-I-N, is soigner, S-O-I-G-N-E-R. There is also prendre soin de, to take care of, literally the same. So when do you use which? Pretty much if you use take care of something or someone, you will use prendre soin de. If you use, I'm going to care, so care for the wound. So there is some crossover and it's not the end of the world, but like for example, imagine I cut my arm and I said I'm going to take care of, you know, je vais soigner or je me soigne. I take care of myself. I'm sorry if you can hear a vacuum, that's my cleaner. Don't be like, why doesn't he do his own cleaning? We're contractually obliged to have a cleaner in this property. So, yeah, soigner, je me soigne. Take care you know, I'm going to take care of whatever, you know, je vais prendre soin, you know, in a gentle, caring, affectionate way of something or of people. That can also be a command. Take care of yourself. Prends soin de toi. Prends bien soin de toi. Yeah, you've been having a bit of a, you know, a tough time recently. So take care of yourself. Prends soin de toi. Next up, s'occuper de is kind of to deal with. So I'm going to take care of the situation. Je vais m'occuper de la situation. Yeah, je vais m'occuper de la situation. Okay? Now, Stuart asked quite a good question. He was like, I've heard occuper, je m'occupe bien de quelqu'un. Is that the one that gets used with people? And is s'occuper more with things? You can use both with both. You really can. There's no grammatical reason for one rather than the other, but you just tend to say, I'm going to take good care of him. You will often have, you know, je vais m'occuper, you know, I take good care of him, je m'occupe bien de lui. You will often have the bien thrown in, but it doesn't mean that the bien is changing the format of the verb in any way, shape or form. So, next up. Obviously, s'occuper de quelqu'un, as those of you that have noticed, is an ABC verb. If you don't know what an ABC verb is, then I suggest you look on the video list or you contact me for the podcasts, and it's just all there in the order of stuff you need to learn in French to get to fluent from A to B. So, so ABC verbs can then be ACB, so you would reverse. So ABC means reflexive verb pronoun, all right? Preposition, sorry. ACB verbs mean reflexive, what am I doing? Reflexive preposition, often in pronoun form, in fact, only in pronoun form, and then verb. So, for example, je m'occupe de la situation, je m'en occupe. Okay? There you go. I've got something on my lip which is bothering me. Bit of toothpaste. I do apologise. I need to take care of my, you know, je dois. So if it's take care of as in deal with it, you know, je dois m'en occuper. If, Luke, your lips are a bit dry, you need to take care of them, that would be soigner or prendre soin de. Okay? Next up, if you are saying take care, bye, take care, fuck off, glad you're going. No, but as a goodbye, if you're saying take care, then you can say prends soin or prenez soin. Yeah, obviously the vous plural. But you will often say a couple of things. So if you are saying be careful, meaning take care, there is a perceivable risk, then you will say fais or faites attention. Okay? Fais or faites attention. Now, command forms, these are known as imperatives, are going to just be when you have the if you have an ER verb, an A verb, and I'm only saying ER because of spelling, in your mind you need to think A, they are when you have, you're just going to get rid of the S. So for example, you speak, tu parles, P-A-R-E-L-S, P-A-R-L-E-S, speak as a command, parle, P-A-R-L-E. You would lose the S. You speak plural or formal, vous parlez, speak as a command, parlez. Now when you have a verb which is not an A verb, not an ER verb, then the imperative is just the same spelling. So do would just be F-A-I-S, like fais. Yeah, fais tes devoirs. So to be careful in French is to basically make or do attention. Faire attention. Yeah? So be careful, fais attention or faites attention, the plural form. Now there's also a slang form of this which is very commonly used, which is fais gaffe. Yeah, fais gaffe. G-A-F-F-E. So even if you were saying to somebody, be careful, you're annoying me now, you know, whether it's that or look out, there's a ladder, you're walking underneath it, fais gaffe. Fais gaffe. Okay? So faites attention, fais attention, fais gaffe. There is also another form, which is be careful, as in watch what you're doing, which is be prudent. Yeah? Sois prudent or soyez prudent. Now in this one, you are using, so most verbs in the imperative are just the verb occasionally without the S, okay? And that might be annoying for people that have, say, studied Spanish or other languages, because you will often use the subjunctive for the command form. So Spanish in particular does this for the formal you. But it keeps coming back to me how many people studying with this are also studying Spanish, which is great. I mean, I speak Spanish, I get it. So if you are saying be careful, then